Have you ever gone to bed expecting a full night of rest, only to wake up the next morning feeling tired, heavy, and completely unrefreshed? For many men over 50, this becomes so common that they simply accept it as another part of aging. But what if one important vitamin could be connected not only to your energy, but also to your sleep quality, circulation, and erectile health? I'm Dr. Leah, and today we're talking about vitamin D, a nutrient most people associate only with strong bones. But vitamin D has roles throughout the body, including supporting muscles, immune function, and other important biological processes. And here's what makes this particularly relevant after 50. As men grow older, vitamin D levels can become lower for several reasons, including spending less time outdoors and changes in the skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight. So why are we discussing this in a men's health video? Because erections depend heavily on healthy blood flow. Your blood vessels need to relax appropriately so blood can reach erectile tissue. The lining of those vessels, called the endothelium, plays an important role in that process. The source explains that healthy vitamin D levels may help support vascular health, which could matter particularly for men who are deficient. But don't misunderstand me. Vitamin D isn't an erectile dysfunction treatment, and taking a tablet tonight isn't going to transform your performance tomorrow morning. The real question is whether correcting a deficiency can support the systems your body already depends on. And that's where this conversation becomes interesting. Now let's talk about energy, because this is another area where vitamin D deserves attention. Many men over 50 tell themselves that feeling tired throughout the day is simply the price of getting older. They wake up exhausted, struggle through the afternoon, and gradually accept low energy as their new normal. But the source explains that low vitamin D may contribute to fatigue, muscle weakness, and reduced physical performance in some people. Think of your body like a car running on a battery that never receives a complete charge. The engine may still start every morning, but everything feels slower and less efficient. Correcting a genuine vitamin D deficiency won't suddenly make you feel 25 again, but your body may function better when it's no longer lacking an important nutrient. Then there's sleep. Vitamin D isn't a sleeping pill, and taking it before bed won't automatically make you fall asleep faster. However, the source notes that healthy vitamin D levels have been associated with better sleep quality in some individuals. Researchers are still investigating exactly how these relationships work. And this brings us to the question you've probably been waiting for. Should you actually take vitamin D at bedtime? You may have seen people online claiming nighttime is the secret to getting better results. But the answer is more nuanced. For most people, consistency may matter more than the exact hour on the clock. So, when should you take vitamin D? Morning, afternoon, or before bed? The truth is less dramatic than many headlines make it sound. For most people, the exact time may not be nearly as important as taking it consistently. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning your body generally absorbs it better when you take it with a meal containing some fat. That could include foods such as eggs, yogurt, avocado, nuts, or olive oil. For that reason, taking vitamin D with breakfast or dinner may be more practical than swallowing it alone before going to sleep. So why do some men choose the evening? Simply because it fits their routine. If taking vitamin D with dinner means you're less likely to forget it, that consistency can be valuable over time. But pay attention to your own response. The source notes that some people report feeling more alert when they take vitamin D later in the day. Research hasn't established that this happens to everyone, but if evening supplementation seems to interfere with your sleep, moving it to breakfast or lunch may make more sense. The lesson is simple. Don't become obsessed with finding a perfect clock time. Find a schedule you can maintain and take it appropriately. And don't expect immediate results. Vitamin D doesn't work like caffeine. If you're genuinely deficient, restoring your levels can take weeks or even months, not a couple of nights. Now we come to one of the most important mistakes men make with vitamin D, believing that if a normal amount is helpful, taking a much larger amount must work even better. That's simply not how this vitamin works. Because vitamin D is available without a prescription, it's easy to assume that you can take almost any amount without consequences. But vitamin D is fat soluble, which means excessive amounts can accumulate in the body rather than being quickly eliminated. According to the source, taking very high doses for extended periods without medical supervision can cause calcium levels in the blood to rise too much, potentially creating problems involving the kidneys, heart, and other organs. So don't guess your way through supplementation. If you believe you're deficient, speak with your healthcare provider about whether a vitamin D blood test is appropriate. Knowing your actual level gives you far more useful information than simply increasing the dose because you're tired or experiencing erectile difficulties. And remember, vitamin D isn't an instant energy booster. If your level has been low for months or years, correcting that deficiency may require patience and consistent supplementation at an appropriate dose. Some men may gradually notice improvements in fatigue, muscle function, or general well-being once a deficiency is corrected. Others may notice very little difference. That's because vitamin D is only one part of a much larger health picture. Healthy erections, energy, and hormone function depend on far more than a single vitamin, and understanding those other factors is where we need to go next. Now, gentlemen, here's something important to understand. Vitamin D doesn't work alone. You can correct a deficiency, but if the rest of your health is being neglected, one supplement cannot compensate for everything else. Think about building a house. One strong material isn't enough. You still need a solid foundation and every other part working together. Your body operates the same way. Healthy erections depend on good circulation, nerve function, blood sugar control, hormone balance, physical activity, quality sleep, and emotional well-being. Vitamin D may support some of these systems, but it isn't a substitute for them. That's why the source emphasizes combining healthy habits. Walk regularly, manage conditions such as diabetes and high blood pressure. Build your meals around vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. Avoid smoking, limit excessive alcohol, and take sleep seriously. Now let's address testosterone, because this is where many men become especially interested in vitamin D. Researchers have investigated whether correcting vitamin D deficiency can improve testosterone levels, but the findings have been mixed. Some studies have reported modest changes, while others haven't found a meaningful improvement. So don't treat vitamin D like a guaranteed testosterone booster. If you're experiencing symptoms that could be related to low testosterone, proper medical evaluation is more useful than simply increasing your supplements. But there's another piece of this puzzle. Your nighttime routine itself can influence sleep, recovery, and overall health. And surprisingly, what you do during the final hour before bed may matter more than obsessing over exactly when you swallow your vitamin D. Before you go to bed tonight, I want you to look beyond the vitamin bottle and think about your entire evening routine. Your body doesn't suddenly switch from a stressful day into deep, restorative sleep the moment your head touches the pillow. It needs time to transition. The final hour before bed can become an opportunity to signal that the day's activity is ending and recovery is beginning. One simple habit is creating a calm and consistent bedtime routine. Start by reducing stimulation around you. Dim the lights, step away from work, and put down your phone or tablet roughly 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, as the source begins to recommend. Why does this matter in the bigger conversation about men's health? Because vitamin D is only one piece of the puzzle. If you're taking a supplement while regularly sacrificing sleep, remaining stressed until midnight, or ignoring other aspects of your health, you're focusing on one small detail while overlooking the foundation. If taking vitamin D with your evening meal fits naturally into this routine, that's perfectly reasonable. But don't force yourself to take it at night because someone told you bedtime produces special results. Remember what we discussed earlier. Consistency matters more than chasing a perfect time. Your goal should be to create an evening routine you can actually maintain, one that supports restful sleep and gives your body the opportunity to recover. And when sleep improves consistently, several systems involved in energy, circulation, and overall vitality benefit from that healthier foundation.